A guide to creating personas. Personas are semi-fictional profiles or characters that you create to represent your typical or even ideal buyer, customer or user of your product or service. Undertaking persona analysis and developing personas for your business will help you understand your target prospects and customers, helping you hone your sales and marketing efforts, inform your customer service activities, and influence your product development. Personas are therefore an important tool when developing both your customer acquisition and retention strategies. Your personas should be based on research into your audience. That can be anything from in-depth market research, to customer feedback, data and interviews, to insights and observations from the customer-facing teams in your business. Gather together as much information and insight into your buyers, customers and users as you can before sitting down to create your personas. You will need to decide which personas you are going to create. You want to boil down your core buyers or customers into as few personas as possible in order to have focus. Remember, personas are generalized representations and you do not need a new persona for every nuance across your customer types. For each persona, you will create a one-page profile, completing a template that includes demographics, behaviors, needs and aspirations. We'll create a persona in this video for a Chief Marketing Officer. Keep in mind your Chief Marketing Officer may be a completely different persona to the one we make, as it'll depend on your industry or sector. Let's begin with demographics. Give your persona a name, age, gender and photo. Next, decide their education level, knowledge level of your company products or services, and their influence within their own organisation. Provide a short background to the persona, explaining where they came from and their previous experience. These characteristics and details will bring these personas to life for your team and make it far easier to relate to them. They will help when it comes to using your personas to inform your messaging or strategic decision making. We're now going to look at their profile. Let's start by thinking about their preferences. List out some of the things the persona likes. Perhaps it's structure, process, or being organised. Now list out some of the things they dislike, perhaps being surprised, unplanned work, or delays. Next, let's add in some learning and reading. Where does this persona go for their information? Do they consume content through blogs, videos, or maybe magazines? Do they attend particular events? Be as specific as you can, as this is extremely useful when it comes to marketing to this persona. Finally, consider what or who influences this persona. Is it their peers? Maybe it's the latest trends in the industry, or is it feedback from their team? At this point, we've built up the character of your persona, so it's now time to flesh out some of their work. Let's start by listing out their challenges. For a CMO, perhaps it's quality of leads or restricted budget. Responsibilities is a key part of any persona. For our CMO, we'll say they're responsible for the marketing strategy, setting the tone of voice, and running the marketing team. The ambitions of the CMO in this context are to grow the marketing function and continue to influence the board. We'll also add an ambition around increasing lead generation to give them a hard metric. To round up, let's look at pain points. What are the areas of their professional life that annoy them, cause problems and get in the way of them achieving their goals? It might be something like team underperformance or access to data. As a final point, it's also useful to list the features this persona would use in your product or service. This will help highlight which areas of your product or service are most important to them. We have completed our persona for a Chief Marketing Officer. This should now be stored alongside your other personas. Remember, you don't want to create too many. This is an exercise to help everyone in the business understand your core buyers, customers or users, and too many personas will make them hard to remember and difficult to be focused. It's well worth going through the exercise of creating personas. They can aid with strategic decision making, help give context to your team members, and be a great tool when shaping your sales and marketing messaging.